The man held the newly manufactured prototype of the AK-47, feeling extremely excited. Jack then led all his co-workers outside the workshop, preparing for the first test. A worker took out the freshly built rifle for testing. The worker pulled the trigger, and the bullet accurately hit the iron barrel. Then he switched to full auto firing, seeing the bullet holes on the barrel. Jack's eyes instantly filled with confidence. The next day, Jack excitedly brought the rifle to the colonel. However, the soldiers detained him for carrying a firearm. When the colonel returned and saw the rifle Jack had designed, he grew curious and brought it to an open field for testing. The results of the test shocked him. He had never seen a rifle with such incredible accuracy. He immediately released Jack and recommended him to the general. Upon hearing the news, the general came to the shooting range the very next day to inspect. He was curious about what kind of gun could deserve such a strong recommendation. During testing, whether in full auto or semi-auto mode, the bullets accurately hit the targets without fail. This instantly dispelled all doubts in the general's mind. On the spot, he assigned Jack to represent the military district in the National Weapons Design Competition. After packing lightly, Jack traveled alone to the capital to participate. There, not only was he given a private design room, but he was also assigned an assistant. With the assistant's help, Jack made improvements to the flaws in the rifle. However, unfortunately, his gun was not selected. This failure made Jack realize that if he wanted his firearm designs to stand out, he would have to work even harder than others. Thus, he studied tirelessly every day. After several months of effort, a new machine gun was finally developed, and its performance was exceptionally outstanding. Full of confidence, Jack entered the second competition. However, his machine gun was eliminated because its structure was not suitable for battlefield conditions. This was a heavy blow for Jack. He felt he might not be suited for firearm design. He immediately went to the military doctor to request a return to the battlefield, but due to his injuries, the doctor firmly refused. Soon after, the war ended. The end of the war inevitably meant that weapons research programs would be stopped. All of Jack's efforts seemed about to become worthless, but the officer quickly told him that even though the war was over, the military still needed more advanced weapons. Jack was not only allowed to stay and continue his research, but he was also given his own research department. Through continuous discussions and study, Jack quickly realized the shortcomings of his designs. He kept simplifying the mechanical parts of the weapon. Finally, not long afterward, the first batch of K-47s was successfully produced. Unable to contain his excitement, Jack rushed to the shooting range to test his masterpiece. However, he was told that the range was already being used by another general. Even when Jack approached other senior officers, he was still rejected. Desperate for success, Jack decided to test the weapon directly within the military camp. What he didn't know was that this weapon of his was about to become world famous.